right, friends, today we are going to start by tracing some circles onto a larger piece of paper. I have a circle stencil to do this. I'm going around this circle shape I have, and then I'm going to lift up and move it. I want many circles on this paper. Each of these circles is going to turn in to a little face in a color that relates to a specific emotion or feeling. So I'm going to continue like this until my paper is full of circles. We're going to be using a paint called watercolor paint today. Watercolor paint comes in a tray that looks like this. And it's called watercolor paint because you need water to wake it up. The paint right now is dry. It's just a little block of color, and I need to take a wet paintbrush and wake it up. So I think I'd like to start with this bluish purple. So I take my paintbrush that's wet and I say, wake up, Mr. Bluish Purple. I swirl around into the paint until there's a little puddle in it. Then I'm going to take that and fill one of my circles. When my paintbrush starts to get thirsty and scratchy, I dip in the water, then back into the paint to wake it back up, and I finish filling that shape. Watercolor paint is supposed to be very light and watery. So, you never want it to feel gooey or sticky. It should feel just like a puddle that has a little bit of color in it. So right now I'm waking up my blue. Now I have a little puddle. I'm going to trace around my circle. My paintbrush is starting to get scratchy and thirsty, so I dip in the water, then in the paint, and fill. I'm never going to take my brush and go down the line and swirl in every single color. That would be mixing the colors, and I don't want you to mix the colors. I want you to keep the colors nice and neat. So I have red, I'm going around my circle, and then I'm filling. I'm remembering that my paintbrush is like a ballerina. Ballerinas dance on their tiptoes. This is the tiptoes of my paintbrush. They never ever scoot around on their bottoms. Their bottoms would be the silver part of the paintbrush. That will ruin the paintbrush and it will rip your paper. So tiptoes as you paint your paper. You're never booty scooting and you're always rinsing your brush, not mixing colors. Remembering that watercolor paint is supposed to be watery. It should never feel gooey or sticky or thick. It should feel just like water that has a little bit of color in it. Now it's time for me to let my paper dry. Next time I see you, we are going to add a face to each of these that matches the color. Friends, now my painting is dry and I have a worksheet that looks like this. I want you to start by looking at each of your colors. This is that bluish purple color. To me, that color seems happy, kind of content. So I'm going to look at this paper and find a face that seems kind of happy and content. To me, this person seems happy and calm. So I'm going to look at it and I'm going to try to make a face that looks happy and calm right on there. So that circle is acting like the face shape itself. I can add things like hair if I want to, or I can leave that off. Now I have this blue color. To me, that feels like a more excited happy, something like that. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to do eyes, eyebrows. That one has little eyebrows. Nose, mouth, all right, now I have red. To me, red feels a little bit angry. So I'm looking for one that feels kind of angry or upset. To me, this one feels angry and upset. So I'm gonna start by making one eye, two eyes. The eyebrows go up at an angle. It has a nose, a mouth, there. Now I'm looking at that orange one. Orange seems excited to me. So I'm gonna make this little girl here who seems kind of excited. Has an ear, and this one has little bits of hair. All right, now I'm on to green. To me, green seems very calm. Let's see, what seems very calm to me? I think that one right there. So I'm looking there, eyes. This person has glasses, which I think is kind of fun. I wear glasses when I'm reading. Eyebrows, nose, and mouth. Oop, and an ear. I can't forget my ears. All right, now I have an artwork that's all about color and emotions. I used the circle shape, I used watercolor paint, and I drew these really cool emotions or feelings on top. Good work. All right, friends, now that all your people have faces, we're gonna make pattern in the background. And I'm gonna give you lots of choices for creating pattern, but your goal is to make a pattern behind your people. We're gonna use these fancy crayons called crayon twistables. You use them by twisting it up just a little bit like that. If you twist it up too much, they break. So one choice for pattern would be to make polka dots. And this cool crayon has actually more than one color in it, so it's kind of fun to use. You could make stripes behind your people. I think I'm gonna switch colors here. And you'll notice if I'm doing something like stripes, when I get to my person, I'm lifting up and going over. Lifting up, then I'm going behind. This is called overlapping. This is a trick artists use to make their paper look deep or more 3D. So two choices are dots, stripes, or maybe even both. Another choice, and this is something we've done before, is texture plates, where you use the texture plate to get the pattern, and you color on top. Again, I'm going around my people, so I'm not going on them at all. When I get to one of my people, I'm tracing around it rather than going on top of it. I can switch colors whenever I feel like it, but my goal is to fill that background with color and pattern. Here I did 3 different types of pattern. You can create your own pattern if you like, or you can choose to do one of the patterns that I just showed you. So your goal is to fill up all that white space behind your very emotional, colorful people. Good job.